Well, as we look ahead to July and the summer, there's a sense now that life is opening up again after the restrictions caused by the coronavirus. Lockdown is gradually lifting and we're able to enjoy more freedoms once again, meeting with friends and family members in small groups, buddying for those who live alone and being able to stay away overnight, being able to shop more normally with many retail outlets now open. And I'm delighted that our church building will be open for private individual prayer from the 14th of July. That's a big step forward. Well, your thoughts may be beginning to move, as mine are now, towards the reopening of our church for public worship, following the government's announcement yesterday that churches can open for worship from the 4th of July. We can now begin to put plans in place. Hopefully later today, we will have answers to some of the key questions. Will numbers of people be restricted to begin with? That's one of them. Will we be able to sing together? Will we have to sit 2 meters apart from each other? Will we be able to share the bread and wine during communion? Will coffee after our services be allowed? Will our vulnerable members only be able to come back to worship at a later stage? There are important issues on which we need clear guidance in order to open safely and sensitively. Well, as we begin to prepare for that, I've gathered a small strategic team to start putting a plan together. Trish, the wardens, Carolyn, Henrietta and I are now meeting weekly with that focus in mind. We'll be consulting with our vision group leaders, asking them to consider what reopening will mean for their group. How do we prepare for children and young people to return, for example? How do we prepare for, how do we open in a pastorally sensitive way? What format should our services take in this new normal? What implications might there be for our finances? What preparations might be necessary for our buildings? How do we honour our eco-church commitments in this new stage? How do we keep our missional focus, both locally and further afield? There are all sorts of questions, and quite soon our PCC will be discussing them, discussing a proposal and making a decision about how and when we reopen for worship. One of the key questions in my mind is how we balance our online digital presence and our physical worship in the future. Most churches now recognise that the digital world offers opportunities for worship and connecting with the wider world that are vital for both the present and the future. And we've seen that clearly at All Saints, with more people watching our online services than used to come on Sundays. We need to give careful thought to how we maintain that online presence and integrate it fully with our physical worship on Sundays. And I'm delighted that we have Trish to guide and lead us as we explore this new and extraordinary world. So please do pray for myself, for the wardens and for Trish, for our PCC as we prepare for this exciting stage of reopening our church building for public worship. Do feel free to contact us if you have any thoughts and ideas that you'd like to share. And I must say, I'm hugely looking forward to the day when our building is fully open for worship once again and we can gather together face to face.